Hello, this is Kerri from Razor Sharp Crafts, and as you can tell, we haven't gotten a flight out yet, so I figured my husband's in and not working out in the garage, so I figured I'd get some more work done on this album. Now my only thing is I don't think I have the correct color paper for making photo mats. I have to see what I have for solid color cardstock. Otherwise those may have to wait until I can either get to the craft store or pick something up in the States. But I'll tell you how I make them so that way you don't have to wait for me. So anyways, I'm making these tutorials for minialbumscraps.ning.com. It's free to join, free to swap. Lots of fun stuff going on there, lots of great people, lots of swaps. We have new swaps opening on the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. So, and that's every month. So please check them out if you like to make stuff and swap with people. So yeah, and then my blog is razorsharpcrafts.blogspot.com, and please check it out because I have some projects on there that I didn't do videos of, and but I've posted them on there, and if there's anything you'd like to see a tutorial on, you can just comment on my blog or send me a message, however you would like to do it. So, okay, let's get started. Okay, now I'm going to already warn you, well, I'll just show you. My camera does not like this black chipboard. Watch. See how it goes all blurry? Oh, and then it goes clear. Earlier I had this sitting here when I turned the camera on to make sure I had my camera lined up, and it just went all blurry and it wouldn't focus. See, there it goes again. But I take it away and it gets better. Kind of makes me dizzy. Okay, but these are the covers. These are. I'm not going to keep them out here because I don't want to keep my camera going like that. So they are cut at 10.5 by 7 3/4, and then I rounded the edges of only one side. See, those are still squared off. And then I put score tape, a 1/2-inch score tape, all the way around the sides on front and back of both. And we are going to cover them with craft cardstock. Now, we want it to be, alright, how did I do this? Oh, I had the spine. Okay, I know what I was going to do. Let's hold up. I didn't cut the spine because I wanted to show you all how I cut chipboard. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see, oh, my messy desk. At least you can see my cutting board. So, I have, see how this blade has markings all over it? That's how I know it's my chipboard blade. Yeah, I use one of these, and we're going to make the spine at 2 3/4 inches wide by 7 3/4 inches long. So what I do, open this up, there we go. Alright, we're going to go out a little more. Excuse the mess on my desk. And we're going to line it up to 7 3/4 inch. And I just make 2 passes. And see, you can see the line where it was. Then, I have just a box cutter that I stole from my husband. And I just very carefully go right through that line. And right through it again. And there you go. And you got a nice straight cut. Now you need to trim it down to 2 3/4 inch wide. end again. You got your cut. It doesn't go all the way through. You might be able to get it to, but it would probably take a little bit of time, so I just do it this way. Just as long as you have a really sharp blade in there, it works awesome. So there. And now we have our spine. And we have our front and back covers. I need to get a piece of black cardstock because I want to use black on the spine. So hold on just a second. Okay. Now I realize that, did I hit the camera? Looked like it may have been bouncing. Now I realize that my chipboard is black already, but I don't know, I just think cardstock over it because it's got like a smoother finish, even though this is very smooth. Just to me it makes it look a little more complete. So now I just need to figure out how far in I want the black cardstock to go on here. And I think I want it to go into 1.5 inches. Yeah. 1.5 inches, we'll take it to like right here. I think that would be good. So, now I just need to switch out my blade because I'm done cutting chipboard. And put my normal blade back in. And see, this one I don't have any markings on it. That other one was actually a normal paper blade up until it started getting a little too dull to cut, and then I just started using it on the chipboard. So 2 3/4, and then I wanted another 1.5 inches. So that's 1.5 inches. And so then another 1.5 inches from there. That's 1 inch, and that would be 1/2. Plus how much space did I leave between those? Was it 1/2 inch I left? Or I mean 1/4 inch between, yeah. So it needs to be 6 1/4 inches by 8.5. So really all I have to do is cut it down to 6 1/4 because it's already 8.5 long. And let's bring you back down in. Alright, now on this we're going to find the center point. Seems like my camera was bouncing there for a minute. I'm going to find the center, which would be right about there. No, it wouldn't. Wow, that was way off. There we go. That is the center. And then that is the center. And then I just draw a line straight down. And then find the center point on your chipboard. I've been noticing I do get my head in the video a lot. And I know I really need to work on being careful with that. Because number one, nobody wants to see the top of your head when you're supposed to be showing them how to craft. And number two, I just want to get better at my videoing skills. So we have that, and then you just line up. You'll just line up the lines, top and bottom. That one's really faint. You can, boom, see, it's very faint at that top. So, score tape is your friend. All the way around. Now ordinarily, if I'd have been thinking before I started, I would have put it all the way across the top and bottom first and then fill in the sides. Just because it would make it where you don't have to take these off when you wrap the top and bottom up around. You'll see what I mean. You wouldn't have had to take the sides off until it was time to cover the inside of it. Okay, 86 everything I just said, because that's the back. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the back doesn't matter, but when I do the front, okay. When I do the front, I'll make sure my score tape goes across the top and across the bottom first, because then when I fold, okay, when I fold, you know what? I should have done this differently. I'm going to redo this paper, because this is 7 3/4 of an inch this way, so I really want 8 3/4 of an inch, so I have a ½ inch on each side. So let me get a new one, and I'll just have to cut it the opposite direction. Okay. Oh, there we go. So we need 8 3/4 by 6 1/4. There we go. And then I'll just find the center point again. There we go. Now it gives me a ½ inch overlay on each side, and even what I usually do to make it a lot easier for placing chipboard is I even draw a line. And now all you have to do, see how I got the line a ½ inch from the bottom, ½ inch from the top. You can faintly see it on the camera there. But now all I have to do is line up that center line and get the chipboard in between those two lines, and done. So let's go ahead and do that. 15 minutes in and I don't feel like we've done anything yet. And I know my head's getting in there, I'm sorry. There we go. And I need to take a quick break. And I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So, I'm trying to get sat back down here. So, this is what I'm going to do. I think it was Kathy Orta that does this. She puts a strip of 1/4" score tape right up as tight as you can get it to that chipboard. And then that gives you basically like your marking line for your outside covers. And then I'm going to put 1/2" score tape down this, and you'll see my madness as to why. You will see the madness. Alright. So there we have that. And just press it down real good. Now, I want okay, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to cut the craft for the front and back covers. And they are 10.5 by 7 3/4. And they're going to be hard to do because I'm not going to be able to get 8 3/4 up and down. Because, yeah, even if I take off 1.5 inches, still leaves 9 inches. Okay, so we're not going to cut this at all. Not at all. You will see why. I want the craft to go underneath the black of the spine. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 1/2 inch on this side, and I'm not going to get 1/2 inch. This is 8. I won't get 1/2 inch, but I'm going to mark 1/2 inch just because it'll still give me a place to see, 1/2 inch. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background, but that's the joy of having kids. I won't get 1/2 inch on both those sides, but at least gives me an area to go by. And that's like exactly to the edge. Alright, so it gives me lines, so I'm like, okay, I know about where I'm going with this, so I can kind of get it centered on that paper. just did a complete 360 with that paper. Now I'm just going to get it as close to that 1/2 inch edge as possible. I'm a little off screen, but all I'm trying to do is get it close to that 1/2 inch mark that I made. And then just trying to see whereabouts it is centered. And I think that looks good. Looks like it's a little bit higher on this side, but that's fine. Now, just like we did when we were putting the pages onto our chipboard, just make sure you got a good adhesion there. Yep. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do the same to the other one. And I actually spent some time the other night when my camera was charging and didn't really have anything to record, and I wasn't going to record me fussy cutting because all you would see is my head, because I get like right up over what I'm fussy cutting, so I can get right on the lines and do it as good as possible. And I'll show you some of the things I fussy cut out so you can see what I mean by I had to be right up on it. I fussy cut that little saying off the front page, the first page, and then this lady and all her detail stuff down there. The postcard, which is just basically cutting it out. I don't really consider it fussy cutting, but I guess it is. And then this roller skate. And they're just some images that I'd like to use on the front cover. And then I have a whole bunch of other just like cutouts from the paper over here and borders. And I don't really know how I want to decorate the front cover yet. So I'm just going to cut a bunch of stuff out, and whatever I don't use on the front cover I can always use to embellish pages or something. Because we still have to do that. Embellish pages. Make photo mats. Adhere the pages to the spine. Or to the binding. And then put it all together. Kind of seems like it's never going to end, huh? Alright, that seems to be about good. Oh yeah, that one looks like it lined up really good. Okay. So I don't make these that often. But my friend Mary asked me to do a tutorial on how I made it, and I promised her I would. And I'm liking and I'm enjoying doing it, because the way I see it is there's a lot of people that have thanked me for it. And the way I look at it is now, like, people who have like never made a mini of them could honestly go to this tutorial and make one. Like a beginner could, as long as they had all the supplies. A beginner could actually go to my tutorial and make it, and I find that really awesome. So, and they would have a very nice, very first project. And to me, like if you were to make one of these as one of like your first projects, I think it would really inspire you to really be great. So, alright, and then not on the side with our edges. The side where the chipboard and the cardstock meet are the same on the same edge. Put a strip of 1/2 inch score tape right on that edge, on both of them. See, right on that edge where it's the inside edge. This is the outside edge with your rounded quarters. So now, guess what? We're going to put the front and back cover onto the spine. So peel that, whatchamacallit, that score tape backing off, and that one, and the back off of this. Now, the reason we put this here is this is going to hold this outer edge of black chipboard or black cardstock the 1.5 inch in on here, and then we put this one that you can't really see anymore because it's going to hold it to this part. It's going to hold it to this part right here. And you do not put it on this 1/4 inch score tape. Put it just to the edge of that score tape. Okay, and I forgot, we're not going to be able to line up cardstock to cardstock because this black cardstock is the 8 3/4 inch. So line up, if you still have this 1/2 inch mark from the edge, try to line your chipboard of this page so that the chipboard is even with that line. Biggest thing is basically trying to make sure the top of this chipboard and this chipboard are in a line. And then the same with the bottom. And then just lay it down. Now you see what I mean by I got it right up to the edge of that 1/4 inch chip, or that 1/4 inch score tape. And you're going to leave that open. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember why Kathy Orta does that. I don't know if it's just the way she spaces, or I think it actually helps to reinforce the spine maybe a little bit, like to keep it where it doesn't break maybe. I don't know. I just know that's how she does it and I copied it. Another way to do it, instead of putting score tape down there, instead of putting the score tape, Laura Dennison of Following the Paper Trail, Kathy Orta's Paper Phenomenon, Laura Dennison from Following the Paper Trail uses a piece of chipboard. She takes like 2 pieces of chipboard, like just 2 scraps, like I got these 2 scraps. She glues them together and then lays these 2 down and then puts chipboard against chipboard. And that's how she spaces hers. Either one works. I've done both. And I just chose to do this one this way because I guess that's just what I decided to do. Just trying to get it to where I have a good view. There we go. Alright, and now I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just going to do that. Need to put our score tape on here. Now, like I said, put it on the outermost edge first, these outside. And outside, because that will make it where we don't have to take, oops, so we don't have to take off these strips that we're about to put on when we do the fold over. It just keeps stuff from getting stuck to it, or it getting stuck to stuff, because you don't have this exposed score tape just kind of sitting there waiting to be covered. It's not a right or wrong. It doesn't matter if you do it the other way. It's just a way I do it. There. Voila. So now all we're going to have to do is fold these over and cover. But what I want to do first, before we fold over and cover, I want to get the pages for the inside cut. And where are we at with time? So we're about a half hour. Alright. So I'm going to shut this video off so that way it's not very long. And I'll cut them off screen, and then I'll come back with a new video for lining the inside and going on from there. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.